Happy Sunday, you beautiful beings, you. I hope you've had a really, really wonderful week. It's great to be back. Very super excited about today's show because I'm going to introduce you to a young lady that is probably not only known internationally, but I would even hazard a guess as to say planetary. I'm sure there are species in other solar systems going, I'm going to get you, baby. I'm going to get you. Yes, I am. She's amazing. She's Angie Brown, and she is the guest on today's show. Now, I'm going to start the show with a bit of a special, quite frankly, because this woman is releasing a new single in a matter of weeks' time. It's called I Will Follow. So you crazy kids are going to get a sneaky listen to the new song. This is Angie Brown. This is I Will Follow. Enjoy. How amazing that you get to hear that song on the Jaden Show even before it's released by dance floor goddess herself, Angie Brown. Now, I know you want to go and meet her now, but you're going to have to be patient because all good things come to those that wait, quite frankly, because those of you that have seen the show before, which is hopefully all of you, will know that now is time for a Jaden Show commercial break. Hey guys, I wanted to take this opportunity to let you know about the Jaden Show commercial break starting now. This is amazing news because now every single week you have a couple of minutes to be able to advertise something you want to advertise. So if you have a business, if you have an event coming up, if you have a new album, art gallery, or anything you want to particularly advertise on a show, this is your chance to do it. March and April 2024, the advertisements are free, so please let me know. Get in touch to me on Jaden Cornelious at AOL.com. It will be wonderful to hear from you. If you are a charity or a charitable organization or a non-profit and you are advertising something with regards to that, then always your advertising is free. So let me know. You will need to send me between a 1 and 2 minute video around that time, if possible, something that you want to advertise, and I will fit it into this spot. Get on. I'll see you soon. Take care, bud. Even to me today, that commercial break seemed to last for bloody ever because I'm very excited to go and chat to our special guest of this week, the incredible Angie Brown. I'm going to chat to Angie. I'm going to chat to her. Yes, I am. Can't wait. This week's special guest, the amazing Angie Brown. Oh my goodness. Dance floor goddess Angie Brown on the Jaden Show. If there was enough room between my belly and the computer and the green screen, I would probably genuflex, but I can't, sister. I'm really sorry. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Happy New Year, actually.
Happy New Year to you too, lovely lady. How was your New Year? Was it amazing? Was you pumping out grooves?
Because the horrible thing was that I got a little I got this little chest infection. I mustn't.
So you haven't done that for a whole chat beforehand.
Yeah, I know, it's psychosomatic. But I was working with beautiful Jess Bays. Jess Bays is, for people who don't know, she's a young producer in her 30s. She works with the DJs from Kiss FM, Sam Divine. She's from the Kiss pool of artists and DJs.
Okay.
And she did a mix of I'm Gonna Get You.
Sweet.
And she did a real lovely club mix of I'm Gonna Get You. So it was nice to do New Year's Eve with Jess. So, you know, she's
So you started well. You started the new year good.
That's right. It's really, really cool.
And how's your chest infection now? You feeling better?
Let's not talk about it. It's psychosomatic. As soon as I start talking
about it, I've got one. Okay. Inhale. Okay.
But the good thing about it's that it happened now, Jaden. It's not like the summer. You've got Ibiza, you've got your, flight, Scotland, wherever, in Malta. I've booked all over the place to do these big festivals. Amazing. And it's just nice to get ill now while there's not much going on.
When you're on a bit of downtime.
Yeah. I mean, I think like your body just says, right, she's taking a break. You know,
quick, get it all in now before.
Yeah, boys, get on the job. Yeah, she's ill, and and so I had one of those Christmases where it was really quiet, and the boys had to we literally had our dinner on our laps. We couldn't do crackers and tables, and I just couldn't hack it. I was like, no, between Mike and I, we both look sort of like purple, and but saying that, the new year came, we did the dog and whistle in St Albans, and the young people that were there, because there's young people that are raving, all like, I'm gonna get you baby. Oh, don't I'm like, hi, when you feel like little old lady at the rave these days. And I am 61. Tell your listeners and watchers.
She ain't, kids. She's lying. She's 37. She's just pulling past. I was so shocked, mate. Like, I was like, rah. So whatever's in that cup, you need to be sending that over, mate, because I need a bit of that. I do like the Angie.
Babe,
that's pretty cool.
My parents came to the UK Dad got here in 55. My mum came a year after him. And my mum had blocked tubes. She couldn't get pregnant. Then my brother came along. And when's he born? 59. And then I was born in 63. So 1963. And they were getting on a bit. They were in their 40s when they had me. Yeah, because they were married for, I don't know, nearly 15, 16 years before they could get pregnant, because my mum had blocked tubes. So when they lived in Kingston, that's a big deal. But when they came to England, they were literally hoovered her womb out. It's all clean. Sorted. Egg and sperm meet up. And then the Pitleys came, the children came, and we never looked back.
And international dance floors have been rejoicing that moment ever since, darling. I want to take you back to when you were like tiny Ange, mini Angie, right? What was the music and everything that was going around in the background in like your family and your upbringing? What was going down?
Okay, because so I'm a proper Brixtonian, right?
Yeah.
So where I lived, David Bowie lived 2 streets behind me, where I grew up in Stockwell. But obviously he was a grown man, I was a child. But I grew up with the sound systems. My mum and dad used to have them illegal drinking parties. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed. It wasn't drugs. It was, your Cherry B, your little baby sham in a shot glass, Yes, that would cost you a few quid. Long life beer. My mum used to have these parties because, you know what it was like in you come from London, so you get it. It's a neighbourhood where you got your safety in numbers. You've got Asian people, you've got black people, you've got people from other countries, as well as your real cool, diverse English people, all kind of living together in a place like Brixton or Notting Hill, or how it was back then. And the cultures were happening, and the music was like My Boy Lollipop. It was like the Jimmy Cliff Wonderful World, Beautiful People. It was like Young, Gifted and Black. There were songs like that. It was young Bob Marley was coming through with. Back then he was doing more skiffle meets reggae, so it was a good time actually for if you grew up on reggae. It was Trojan and Studio One and all the music that Madness went on to cover. And
I say, I was, because I'm 10 years younger. It was Madness and Bad Manners and Musical Youth and all that kind of vibe.
Yeah, so they got their influences. That's it. They got their influences from Prince Buster.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Desmond Dekker and people like that. So, I mean, Desmond Dekker, that tune. I mean, white, black, don't matter how everyone knows that tune.
That was a tune, absolutely, yeah.
So I grew up listening to music like that.
So reggae was the vibe that was going on in the family home, yeah? Yeah,
it was, but you were also watching TV, so you saw Tom Jones, you saw Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight. Oh my God, you play that Gladys Knight, Train to Georgia, all of that. A lot of West Indian families grow up with Jim Reeves and the whole country thing as well. So wow. They like the vibe of it. It makes them feel relaxed, and it will put you in the mood for church on a Sunday morning. Wow.
So great cooking pot of music, like just everything covered.
Music has no boundaries. It has no color. It's just whatever it is,
It's whatever touches you, right, and makes you. Yeah.
So I grew up, then I got into my teens, and I liked Mud. I liked Waddy. I liked Bay City Rollers. I liked everything.
I never saw that coming. I've got to be honest. I never saw that coming.
When back in the day, everybody watched Top of the Pops, didn't they? So
yeah. Oh my God, that was. I mean, I personally lived for that Thursday night at whatever time it was. But
yeah, it was.
That was amazing. But under the moon of love, I'm gonna tell you that I love it.
And dance, I love it. I think. I like things that were vocal and people that were working together as a group of artists, and the dance was like that as well. So
we had I think we were so blessed to have the music heritage that we had. Like now there's some phenomenal artists. I'm not dissing any artists, but I mean, I think as I've got older, things sound the same to me because back then there was such a variety. Like we had everything then. Now you kind of got to go searching for the new things, but like in the main, it's like the same 9 artists. That's kind of like on any radio station. Whereas like you said, you can get Shawaddy Waddy, a Musical Youth, on the same show. It was just like,
it's really
madness.
It's mind blowing.
Yeah,
because back then, Freddie and those from Queen had to go and say, "Well, we've written this song, and it's 9.5 minutes," and people were going, "No, I don't think you're going to get that played on the radio, mate. It's like 2.5 minutes on the radio," and then they come along and just say, "Well, we like it. We think it's going to be great." And look how many, 10 weeks it was number one.
Hey,
I mean, sometimes music comes along and it changes the world with one play.
And I still get asked probably every month, if not every other week, "Do you sing Bohemian Rhapsody?" I can't do that. You ain't gonna. I'm not gonna touch Freddie. No, I can do some things, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, forever, right? We had icons. Now we got some great stars, but we had icons and legends then.
We did.
It's a big difference. I feel like there's so much beautiful and amazing talent out there, but the industry's more watered down now. Back in the day, it was like gold and diamonds. Like we were so blessed.
I just think, okay, now people can do it for themselves, and you can upload your music to a service provider, and you can be out there as an artist, whether you're a great talent or not. But back then, you had to get your music put on an acetate, which was put on a vinyl, and you were pushed as an artist. That's the only way that they could market you and get their money back. You know, whether you were T-Rex or whoever, you had to literally, oh, you're Thin Lizzy, you're I don't know, the black guy that was called Billy Ocean, or whatever your genre was, you had to be signed by a major, and that major would spend money on advertising you. Every photo was iconic. It took a lot of money to put you out there as an artist. Then your music had to be in the shops. It had to be available. It isn't like now where you are online. People had to go out and find you and buy your music. And you were actually billed, you know, whether you're Duran Duran or, I don't know, 80s, 90s, whatever.
Yeah.
When it got to the house music in the 90s, it became a little bit faceless because of how the music kind of came about. They don't build house artists. I mean, they have done that with DJs, but they haven't done that with the vocalists, which is very weird. But they've left it as like you're very faceless, but your sound is your sound. And you know, someone like me, I can go in there and go, that's me, you know, whatever, and it's distinguishable. But if I think it's a bit naughty, but I think that the record companies and the producers that came about in the house era, they came about because they didn't like what the majors were doing. But then they came along and did the same thing, was like rip off the artists and take most of the money and the profits and not give the artists what they're worth for their exploitation, because it just took off. Houses just went off. People went mad about it. And it was just a lot of young people doing their cassette to cassette recordings.
Yeah.
And
I remember they were saying something like, there was, I can't remember the exact statistics, but I remember when I got my first deal, they were saying there was like 200, they received 220,000 demos, like I don't know if it was a year or 6 months or something, but only 200 people a year got signed internationally. And I was just, I remember being in, like, you know, the A&R studios, offices in, you know, like Arista, Mercury and BMG and stuff like that, and just seeing bags of the most brightly coloured packages, because we all wanted the A&R guys to recognise our one, right? You never put it in a brown envelope. You put in stickers and tinsel, and it's like, you make sure noticed. And it was intense. And I mean, I had 3 deals, so I mean, I think as a, you know, young guy with that odds, I've done pretty well. And now I can be online, I can pop to the Louvre for Have a Wee and come back and I've sold an album in Ethiopia. I mean, it really does have its, and that did happen, that's a true story. Like, it really, you know, it does have its blessings. Like, if you wanted people to follow you, you had to slog it up to Leeds to some really badass nightclub where by the time you went on stage at midnight, everyone was either E'd or drunk out their face, right? Yeah. You've got a 3-song PA, and you'll be lucky if anyone even remembers your name or your face, because they were off their heads, quite frankly. So you could go and do it every couple of months just to make, and then hopefully people would remember your name and remember the song, and you start to build up. But it was hard graft, mate. Hard graft.
And it was hard getting on radio. That's why the pirate stations came about as well. Again, they were like a thorn in the side of Radio 1 and whatever the established stations, because they were like, this is the new music, this is what the kids want to listen to. And it's really kind of what Radio 1 had done 30 years ago. Radio 1 said, right, we've got Radio Caroline out in the sea. This is what the kids want to hear. They don't want to hear this rock and roll. They want to hear a bit of pop, bit of guitars. And they went out there and they want to hear the soul music from America. And, you know, you had the Radio Caroline out in the sea playing that.
And there was one in Twickenham. It was, I can't remember, like Strawberry Hill or something. There was an island on Twickenham that I think the Beatles even either went to play out or recorded out or something that was kind of like just keeping it kind of off grid, almost off musical grid, because
That's
they were so
right.
different at the time. But
Yeah,
then I think like what you said, everyone kind of succumbed, right? As soon as like everyone's now tuning into this particular, pirate radio station, they almost become like a corporate radio station,
that's right.
and then
That's right. And then so you had your Kiss FMs, you had your LWRs, you had the people playing house, playing a mixture of house and drum and bass and jungle. This is all, music's experimental though, Jaden. It never, you can't put it in a box and you can't predict where it's starting and where it's ending. It has got its own creative vibe.
yeah.
So,
As of the
when,
artist, I think like in the 90s and definitely I probably think in your time as well, like if you were signed as a particular genre, God forbid you put the wrong instrument in a track, they won't release it. It might go on a B-side if you're lucky, but whereas I think now for artists it's great. I can record an opera classic and I can go with my mate and record a reggaeton in Spanish and English, and both of them are Jaden Cornelius, and I'm enjoying now the freedom. I think it wasn't just the radio stations, the artists were so boxed and whereas now freedom is off the scale.
It was compartmentalized, wasn't it?
Completely.
You're that artist, that's what you sang and that's what you're known for.
When did you know that you wanted to go kind of, like you're dancing around your living room, to Jim Reeves on a Saturday evening? When did it start to become a little bit more, like, I want to be doing this, like, seriously?
Well, the funny thing is, like, my first record deal that I got was with the Doves. Okay, they were called the Thrashing Doves. They had one of the biggest rock deals in history. And I, obviously, coming from Brixton, I started off doing the reggae, but I quickly gathered that there's money in it, but not enough because it's too purist. It's not like I grew up in Jamaica and I made a reggae there and we exported it. I grew up here, and to the British reggae had come in, which is the Lovers Rock stuff and the Janet. But I just thought, again, I still thought this is a purist market, mostly black audience. It's not enough. I want to do some stuff. I want to do stuff that I've heard on the radio, your T-Rex and your bands that was around back then. So I was doing, the big girl, even though I might cough a bit, but it's like, 20th century boy, I want to be a toy, and stuff like that. I was doing all the rock and roll stuff in the band, and guitar woman, give me. I thought I was going to be Tina Turner.
I was just about to say, you was channeling Tina for a minute. It was amazing.
Well, the thing is, it felt like it had longevity. It felt like they could build you as an artist. It just felt like if I do, the rock band thing, I can just have more longevity as an artist. So I started doing backing vocals for various bands. I was in EK1. That was a soul band that I was in down in Thanet. I was the lead singer. I was with the Dirty Strangers as their backing singer for maybe 3 or 4 years. And the Dirty Strangers, we worked with the Rolling Stones. So it wasn't all the Stones. It was Keith Richards and Ronnie Wood. They used to be with us, hanging out, fag in mouth, playing and I didn't really think about it too much, but I put it on my CV and that opened many doors. So I went on to work with the Thrashing Doves, and they had a massive deal at the time, but they were on a daytime TV show. Margaret Thatcher was on, and she had to say, it was Swap Shop or something.
Okay.
Hit on this. And she said, I like these boys. They've got tidy haircuts. This is going to be a hit. And because she said it was going to be a hit, it was like their careers were over. And then I can hear their record company saying, well, it's all about soul to soul and the soul music right now. And so keep on moving. And then the boys lost their deal, even though they had one of the biggest deals in history. So they started working with me, where I was their backing vocalist, and suddenly I was I was at the forefront of this band, and it was me and these cute white boys with the little haircuts and the drain pipe jeans. And then we went on to do a whole album, but me singing all this rocky and country stuff. Anyway, when we tried to get a deal on it in America, we got a deal on it. Excuse me, but they didn't know what color I was. They thought I was white. So
you didn't see photos or nothing.
Back then, I think that they literally got the music and thought, this is great. And then they flew us to America I can't remember if they flew me to LA to do a video, and you could just tell that the CEO, it was East West Records, they had a marketing headache. It wasn't just the record company. We can't just say, oh, it's the record company. It's just people were compartmentalized. People thought, well, if you're white, you do rock, and if you're black, you do soul. Or, you know, people like Eminem who've come along, or he is the best rapper in the world, and he is white. You get influenced by the music that you grow up with. It doesn't matter. But it was a marketing headache for people back then, and that's what I love about the internet. The internet takes no prisoners. You know, there are black people on there that sing country, Hello Black or whatever. They sing what they sing. You can't put us in a box because you're black, this is what you do, or because you're white, this is what you do.
Yeah.
And I was Skunk Anansie slightly before Skunk Anansie.
Wow. Okay.
I needed to be doing that college rock thing with me and my 4 white boys jingly jangling, but they went, you know. No, and it was so sad. It's so sad. But the funny thing is, nearly more than 30 years later, obviously that music's out there, and it's been re-released to us, and we're going to tweak it. We're going to put it out. Why not?
Sweet. Absolutely. It's funny. I was in a boy-girl group, 2 black girls, 2 white boys. We were called Beyond. It was really good fun. We didn't realise that we were multiracial because we were mates. So it was kind of when a radio station says, "So what's it like being a mixed race band?" We're like, "Oh shit, we are." I forgot about that. But the record companies were like, "It's equal black and white. It ain't going to work." They were saying black people don't sell magazines. Try telling that to Diana Ross and Luther. But anyway, and Eternal, because Eternal were doing their thing. But they said you're only going to be famous if you bring a white girl into your group. And we were like, we ain't doing that. Like, so it never worked for us in the end. But it was like we were like Eternal meets Take That. So we were working with
amazing.
And we were working with some great. Well, we were working with the best producers and writers in the UK at the time, and even when I went solo, I went out to work with the Max Martin group in Sweden. But we were working with some great ones. But the record companies, like you said, they couldn't get their head around equal black and white. Like what?
Oh, well, that's what happened to me with the band.
Yeah.
They said to them, we're going to give you an advance of £250,000 to get rid of Angie Brown.
No.
And then the boys said, no, we're not doing it. We are not doing it. And this is after we'd been to Abbey Road and worked with the London Philharmonic Orchestra on Beaten Up in Love Again, got released. I know it sounds physical, but it's about being emotionally beaten up while you're in love with someone. And it got played maybe on Radio 1 for about 6 weeks, and then we got dropped. But Mike, my husband, he found online that people had discovered this song, Beaten Up in Love Again. And there was thousands of comments. I mean, he was reading it to me because there's no gimmicks, there's no fast moving. It's like, I'm beaten up in love again. It is a ballad. And the comments, my hairs went up, and I said, Mike, please stop. Please stop, because obviously back then I was in my early 20s. We got dropped. I felt really rejected. I felt really hurt with all of it. It's bringing it all back, actually. And the comments that people said, I've been looking for this song for 30 years, or I love when the orchestra and she takes it up to a higher level. I mean, it's moving when you think. Some people found this, and apparently the South Africans have always heard it down. Excuse me. In SA, they've always played it. They've always heard it. They've heard it all their lives, so they don't understand what everybody else is going on about. And yes, that is another story about royalties and what happened. But it's amazing that a little bit of that music escaped, and one country knows it. It's a bit like the Rodriguez story, and nobody else in the world knows it. And the odd person, I mean, if you go onto YouTube and read it, the things people say about that song, and my voice is slightly different, fresher. It was I was young. I was in my 20s. In my 60s now. It's different. But
I think as artists, you don't realise it's the pebble in the water effect, isn't it? Really, you do something that you just don't realise how the ripples expand and how many people are touched by what you do. For you, it's like, it's not, the music industry is not a career for the faint-hearted or the emotional or the insecure or the slightly sensitive, and yet all the biggest stars are emotionally insecure, are sensitive, are because that's how we connect with our voice, right? That's how we connect.
And it's the music. You're giving your music, and you're showing you're naked. You're giving your heart.
Completely, pure vulnerability, and people take advantage of that. Like, it is one of the shittiest. It's one of the shittiest industries to be in, with some of the most phenomenal experiences I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, and I think
I agree with that. I agree with that, because it really. If you have that thing in life that floats your boat, keeps you young, it makes you want to get up. It could be horse riding, could be ice skating, it could be building houses, whatever it is. If you can find that thing in life that makes you feel good, then not a lot gets you down. Not the bills, not this world is a hard place to live in, right? It's brutal. But if you've got something that floats your boat, that gives you, it opens your soul up. It makes you smile, and it makes you just embrace life differently to the people who haven't found that.
And I think as well, you don't have a choice, mate. Like, you were born, Angie Brown could never stop being Angie Brown, with all the intricacies of that, what makes you. If you took away any of that, you wouldn't exist. Like, someone could say to me, I give up music, and, you're good at, I don't know, I'm not. You're good at AI, so go and, do stuff on the computer. I'll be like, I might be all right at it, but I would never, ever feel like Jaden again.
Yeah, it's your heartbeat.
Yeah, and it's the same for you as well. Like the stuff that you've done, even though it's been some of the most rejecting and abandoning and difficult times of your life, all those years later are still touching people in such an incredible way. What a legacy and a blessing, mate.
Thank you.
How cool
some people find, excuse me, sorry, Jaden, but some people find an old vinyl, and I think, what is that? And they said, it's you. And I remember, when I'm Gonna Get You came out in 92, we never really got paid from the label. I don't know about the boys from Bizarre Inc., but because I was like the spare dick at a wedding, I've never received any royalties. And unfortunately, that's what they do. They can keep your money.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have seen it in the music business all the time, that the money just goes missing. Whether it's Elvis, Basic Rollers, management, label, whatever, the money can go missing. And so I've gone out and done it live, and gone back in the studio. And I'm literally chucking the mud at the wall, hoping it will stick.
Sweet.
Okay, you paid me. Okay, you cut me in as a writer. Whatever it is, I need to keep working. And then I had my children, and I had to keep working even harder. So there's thousands of tracks there. And I think a lot of them are going to come to the surface. They've already, since my husband started managing me, excuse me, they've come to, sorry, my darling.
Right.
They've come to the surface. People are, oh yeah, I found this on my hard drive. You did it in 95, you did it in 96, you did it in 2000. And I'm like, wow. Excuse me. So they're tweaking it and spinning it up and whatever. And I'm like, wow. Because I've forgotten all about it. I never thought about it because it's like, you guys didn't have any hope and you didn't believe in it because you didn't go and get a deal on it. But now it's a
Now it's
springboard. Now
happening.
it's interesting how I said to Mikey that this would happen, and it's happening right now.
All right. See, obviously, what's meant for you is not going to pass by you, love.
Yeah, that's right. And there's no time till the right time, is it?
Absolutely. So all that bloody hard work is paying off, and that's amazing. Especially when you're only 43 years old. I mean, it's amazing that you're doing what you're doing now. How did the whole Bizarre Rink thing come about? When did that, like, how was, because that was obviously everyone knows Angie Brown as "I'm gonna get you, baby, I'm gonna get you, yes I am." Even
That's
my
right.
25-year-old Mexican friend knew that song.
Well,
It's from a tiny village in the middle of the Yucatan Peninsula, mate.
that's really interesting.
It's really cool. Like, you are
I used to
beyond
go to.
inspirational.
Oh, thank you, Jay. I used to go to a nightclub called Singers, and we all find our hangouts and our little places where we go, and nook and cranny, where you can get up and have a little sing and kind of hone in on your craft.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what happened to me. I used to go to Singers. I used to go to places every night. There was, or more or less, a live place in London, open mic night.
Open
You
mic
could get up
stuff,
and
right?
do your
Okay.
thing. And I was at Singers doing excuse me, I have to clear my throat. I was doing R-E-F-E-C-T, find out what it means to R-E-F-E-C-T, I was doing it all, in the Aretha
Yeah.
King. That oh, rocket baby. What I was doing all, and people were like, she's singing it in the Aretha key. Yeah, yeah. And
After someone's just finished their little folk song.
singing, well, everybody would get up and always do a ballad, and I would get up and do "We Are Family," and Des O'Connor. There would always be a famous person from the '80s in the audience because as a night out, it was a great club, and
Where was it?
It was in Tottenham Court Road.
Okay.
It used to be first. It started off at near GAY near it was called
Yeah.
the bottom of the Milk Bar.
Yeah.
Then it moved to I think Hanover, the Hanover Grand,
Oh,
and
okay.
Hanover Square. Oh, it moved to various
Different
places, but
venues.
people knew they would come. They can have a meal. They can have a drink. It could be prestigious. Other places started as well, like that called 10 Rooms. That was at China White's, where it was next door to China White's. There's different places,
Yeah.
Mayfair, the West End, little bit Shoreditch, whatever. But there's always a night where you could get on the stage and show your worth, And I did that one night. I did the Respect, and there was labels used to go down there, and the scout people used to go down there, and I got scouted to be with an agency because they rang me up, of course, and said, can you sing like Jocelyn Brown? And I thought, who the hell? Which British girl is going to sing like Jocelyn Brown? And I thought, I'm gonna lie to them. I went, of course I can, like that, because I had to do maybe a month before that. I did this advert where it was for McDonald's, so none of the images fit the voice. Like there was a little blonde Mabby, and I had to literally go. So I walk to old McDonald's now, like this. And I did it in a couple of takes because I said, they were like, we didn't think you could do it, Angela. I said, I'm drama school. I went drama school, so I know you might be in your 20s, Angela, but right now you're like 30 stone and you're you're in your 60s and you're sitting on a veranda and you come from pain, whatever that blows out, eating a bit of fried chicken, whatever. Do what you've got to do. So I got this advert for McDonald's, and I remember being on tour with Level 42. The same band, the Doves, we were on tour with Level 42, and I thought, yes, I'm doing my live. We're supporting them. I'm doing my lives in the day. I come back in my little hotel at night, and I'd see the advert. So I walked out, bubble coming. I was really excited about it. But after doing that advert, when I got the phone call, can you sing like Jocelyn Brown? I thought, I don't know. Who in England's going to say that they can sing like any American singer? Who's going to say we don't have
Angie
that
Brown
privilege?
did.
Well, no, but Jaden, you've got to think about it. If you're a Brit,
Yeah.
you know, Americans
Exactly.
are like, "Hi, Angie," and we're like,
Yeah.
"Hello," and we're all throat, and they're like all chest.
Yeah.
And you know, as a teenager, I got trained by a lady called Annette Batama. She's Anglo-French. We have been friends for 40 years. And I was a little kid going to her, giving it the he, ha, like this. And she'd go, yes, my Ange, you know, and she'd teach me some French. And I'd be, quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la violence. You know, you know, when you meet someone who gives you, I don't know, culture, influence, some poetry, you know, she had ram cheese at her house. You know, I'm a working class girl who has a house with books and to wall to ceiling with books, and they're all covered in the same wallpaper vibration as the wallpaper, and it's like, what is going on here? Who has a big piano? What is it called? The grand piano in their front room. Who has that? Because my mum and dad's house had lodgers in all the rooms. You know what I mean? With families inside.
I had a
those
Casio
rooms.
keyboard that was like 1.5 octaves. If that's any good for comparison, that I could play "Oh Danny Boy" with the swing beat. That was about.
You're not allowed to make me. You're not allowed to make me laugh. Yeah. So this woman came along and opened up my voice, because she, you know, I guess because I was in my teens and she was in her mid-30s, she's an old woman to me. Right. And I thought, what's she talking about? And she'd be going, if you look after your voice will look after you. And I thought, well, yeah, whatever. And even though I roughed it up in the 80s with the rock thing, I never got nodes. I never got any illnesses from my voice, from what Nettie's taught me. Mm-hmm. So I know, carrying that forward, I thought with the acting, after going to drama school as well and meshing the whole lot together, if they want this Jocelyn Brown sound, just if I get in the studio and put the headphones on, we call it the cans, put the cans on, just maybe I could replicate that sound. Now, there was a sample going around, and on it had Ride on Time, it had I'm Gonna Get You, it had, I believe it had a bit of everything on there. It was a 12-inch vinyl with all these little, it had that James Brown, it had everything on there. And so I'm Gonna Get You was on there, but it was more like a song. And then the boys from Bizarre Inc. said that we just want these 4 lines. I'm gonna get you, baby. So I sort of said to them, okay, I obviously I don't sing like Jocelyn, but I'm gonna try and replicate her sound to the best of my ability. So you have to get this quick, because I'm singing at a wedding tomorrow. I remember that. And I remember I put the cans on. I thought, we got to warm up proper, and believe that your sound is in your feet, Angie, because, you know, with a nerdy little English. And I was like, come on with the chicken and everything again. And I was like, what is your time? You know you're gonna be mine. I'm gonna get you, baby. I'm gonna get you, you son. And they were like, yeah.
Mate, I've got to just say,
I was like, great.
You doing that, I've just had the biggest amount of butterflies, because I was grooving to that tune, you understand? And that was Angie Brown, and she was like super international diva and famous. Now she's sitting in front of me with a cup of tea. She's singing it. I'm like, oh my God, mate, only you could do Jocelyn, quite frankly.
Thank you. I think it's a resonance that people are looking for, and people know if you're straining. People know if you find it difficult. They just see it. And if you know, with what Nettie taught me, it's you use your gravity. And if you're singing something high, then you don't go with it. You pull it down. Absolutely. And you use the gravity, because actually, when I was a teenager, and she'd be talking about sex and stuff, and she'd go, it's liberating. And of course, I was 16-year-old virgin. I didn't know what she was talking about.
Yeah.
As I got older, when she said, you ride it through, like being on a swing. And I said,
Yeah.
what's she talking about? I got older, had sex, had a J. I know what she thought. I've been drunk in a bush in Ibiza now. And then she said, it's liberating. And she said, you see the high notes are low and the low notes are high. So that way, you don't go, I live to be with Canada. No, I live to be with Canada. Because you're pushing. Ain't nobody. It's down. It's down. It's not up. It's not. And I thought, this woman actually is talking.
She knows her stuff. She knows.
She's a genius. And that's why, even now, if I see Jocelyn, she goes, hey, you my boo. You know that. You my girl. Every American. I know Barbara Tucker, all of them, they don't mess with me. It's like, look at her go. Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
That's right. And because I've been singing I'm Gonna Get You So Long, why waste your time? You know you're gonna be mine. I'm gonna get you. I'll mix it up. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Yes, I am.
It's all part of your DNA now, mate. Isn't it?
Yeah. Have fun with it. Why? We have fun with it now.
Absolutely. However, I do think you need to ask your Anglo-French singing teacher if she was ever drunk in a bush in Ibiza. If that's how she found her liberation. Maybe.
Yeah, she would have been doing ballet and then discovered jazz ballet,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and then they would have been contemporary ballet. They would have been saying, ooh, it's not classical, but you know what? It's still ballet.
You know it.
But it is the freedom of it and the movement and the flow. And she would have been around when they said, oh, black people can't do this and they can't do that. And she said some of the black dancers were the best, but it would have been bad in those days because back to the compartmentalization.
Yeah. Craziness. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's going on? So now with the colour that's been involved in the background of Angie Brown, the variety, the mix, the being drunk in a bush in Ibiza, what is actually happening for Angie Brown now?
Well, one of the best things that ever happened to me was COVID came along in, the work started drying up in 2019 and I'd lost my mum that year, so I was on a real downer. Yeah. And it just felt really odd being locked out for 2 years. But at the end of the 2 years, I met Mikey, my husband.
Great.
Yeah, online. Babe, I was going through it. I was going stir crazy because we had 2 years, excuse me, of no festivals, no really going out, playing online. I learnt to DJ, and I think The Voice, for some reason, when I was DJing, that was it. I found a spam file. So if you can imagine, like you hardly got up and you had your dressing gown on, you got a face full of cheesy what's it. And I thought, I need to get in that bathroom. I'm DJing tonight, and I looked at my phone. You had time to do housekeeping on your phone, and I found a spam file, and in that file was all these people who'd written to me because I was on The Voice. So I thought these people were sad that no one turned around for me. So I looked at the date. And they had written to me in 2014. This was now 2021. So I thought to myself, do I get back to them? Of course, I could hear my mum, get back to people. It's rude. I'm covered in...
What's it?
That's it. And Jaffa cakes, Excuse me.
I think we were twins in a past life. You're just explaining my life.
You had no purpose. So I was like, all right, Mum. And she was like, yes, it's rude. Get back to them. I said, but it was 7 years ago. I don't care. Get back to them. So I got back to people And people got back, said, don't worry about it, love. It was 7 years ago. Don't worry about it. But Mike writes back, well, I'm disgusted that they didn't turn around for you. And I thought, who is this guy? What's he like? And I said, babe, it's television and that can happen. They know who they want to win. They need someone younger that they can mold into what they want. I know too much about the business, but I'm glad they gave me a bit of a star turn, because you could see the singer that sung that song and people go, oh, it was her that sang that song. And I must say, for about 2 weeks around the UK, I walked into a pub and people got on their feet and I was like, what is going on? They were like, weren't she great on Saturday night? Everywhere I went for about 2 weeks, people, you know, Steve, the biggest guy in the pub and wherever, was giving me these big ups. So anyway, so obviously that was, you know, 2014. It's now 2021. It's a nice bit of vintage footage on TV. And I thought, this man is feeling really passionate about it like it was yesterday. So I said, listen, baby, you know, it's dead in the water. No one turned around, but I got work out of it. And don't worry about it. All right? Yeah. And I did the red heart in Messenger. And the red heart, or any of the hearts, kind of bubble up into many hearts.
Oh, yeah.
So I just did it as a kiss off, like, go now, mate. Yeah. Bye. So he must have got the hearts, and he wrote back to me, you know, like 3 or 4 days later, you think, I wonder if I just looking that far. And he'd written back to me, and I thought, who's that guy? And it said Michael Monez. And he went, I opened it, and he goes, wow, how did you do that? And I thought, dude, what was he talking about? So I said, do what? And he goes, make those hearts come. I went, oh! I thought, he's old. He's a silver surfer. You don't know. Yeah, man. You know, like how you feel. Yeah, when you've got something over somebody, you know, I'd obviously. I said to him, look, if you put any heart, the yellow one, the green one, any heart, opens up into many hearts. And I said, you can even, and I've got my avatar with the heart, stars in its eyes, and I said, you can even do this. Like this, or whatever it was. So poor Mikey went away. I checked a few days later, and he come with his little flicky hair boy with the stars in its eyes, going, what do you mean like this? And I thought, him, he's fun. So then I said, listen, you can do anything you want on here. You can, you know, he doesn't even know how to use Messenger and stuff like that. The conversation started from there, and we've never looked back. And then we started talking in January 2021, and the country, or the whole world, opened up in the March 2021. And then we got married March 2022.
Wow.
And I'm Angie Brown Monez now, and he's Michael Brown, or Mikey Brown Monez. And we, you know, his mom's name, it's Portuguese. So he's half Portuguese and half Lebanese. And lots of people think he's a good Jewish boy, whatever. I don't really care, as long as he's a nice person.
As long as that boy is good to you, right?
Yeah, and I think that my mom's there saying, see, me tell you, get back to it. Yeah, I think she orchestrated that, because it. Oh, actually, let me quickly share with you while we're sitting here like that. We've had this.
Tell me.
On our wedding cake.
Oh, how cool is that?
Isn't it beautiful?
Love it. Does Mike sing as well?
Sorry?
Does Mike sing as well?
No, Mike doesn't sing, but he's got an executive background, so that's one of the single-handed reasons why my career, you know, is flourishing, because I can get on with the creatives, and he does, you know, literally sending that nice white man to talk to the other white man in the CEO at the offices and at the record company. Why not? You know, they want to do business with Mike. He's kind, he's charming. He knows, he's learned a lot about the music industry, because it's the same as any other industry. It, you know, it's about making money. It's a business, and he knows about business. So Mike started managing me. My brand's gone up. Even my Spotify, you know, a year ago, it was only like 3,000 listeners. It's up to 50,000 now. And
You want to manage me as well? Bloody hell, that's amazing.
It's so cool. In a year, with my tracks that have come out, it's been very interesting to see what's happened. Everything looks slicker. The brand is nicer. It just, yeah, he's really lifting me up
And
as
the
an
fact
artist.
that he loves his product as well is, you can't beat that, right? He's so invested.
He is
Lucky
actually.
girl, you are.
He is. He's a lovely man. I feel very honoured, you know, and he's my toy boy. He's only 54 and I'm 61. And everyone's seen it. Everyone who follows on Facebook or Insta, they see the joy, they see the happiness, and you know, people who followed me for many years just said, "Yeah, it's your time, Ange.
Yeah.
The voice hasn't gone away. I don't look too old. I can still move a bit. You know, there's always weight to lose. There's always, you know, hairdressers. You think, oh, my greys are coming through. I've got to lose a
Always
couple of
something.
stone, whatever." But the actual voice itself is still there. And I'm not an arsehole. I'm nice to work with, though, Jaden.
Oh no,
well.
I think you're a complete arsehole. I think you're fucking amazing. And I think actually, as we get older, I think I would, you know, I listen to early demos of me, and I'm like, "Wow, you couldn't sing if you couldn't carry a tune in a bucket." And now I can sing pretty much anything. I remember I was completely obsessed with. Actually, I wasn't obsessed with her at all, but I was. She was my muse, Olivia Newton-John, and I got to meet her a good few times, and we chatted lots on the on the phone and stuff like that.
Wow.
I went to see her. I'd never been to concerts before. I was always I'm on the autistic spectrum, so I was always scared of couldn't be in a crowd of a lot of people. It always kind of faced me. But I went to see her at the Royal Albert Hall, and that woman was late 60s, early 70s. She rocked that Royal Albert Hall for, oh my God, 2.5, 3 hours without a break. She was on it, and she sounded better than any record or CD that I had listened to in the last 40 years, mate.
That's amazing.
I think as we get older, we find more of our authentic self. We're not trying to pretend anymore.
Fine wine. It's like fine wine, and you've matured. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, this is your time. It's always been your time, quite frankly, as far as all the Angie Brown lovers are concerned. But even more now, because you're still cooking it, sister.
Oh, thank you.
What are your plans for the future? What are your plans from now onwards? Like, what's happening?
Well, I think it's a natural progression to manage people and give them some mentoring and guide them. And by the time I teach these young people the pitfalls of the music industry, they don't want to go anywhere. I mean, you're not trying to scare them. You're just telling them the truth, really.
Absolutely.
And because they know the truth, they've got a trust with us. They've got built a bond, and they got that wraparound care where they want to be with Mikey and I, where we feel like they're parents, really, because they're in their 20s. We're 40 years older. Yeah, and that's what they want. They want that wraparound care. So we've got a new label. The label's going to be Angie Brown Music, or ABMM. And people, I know the CEOs of radios, I know marketing people, I know everybody. As I say, you know, I've been in the industry a long time. I've got a lot of friends, few enemies, but a lot of friends, lots. And people like working with me. And the new artists come to me with ideas and their thoughts and hopes and dreams. And I feel like I'm Nettie now, saying, "Oh, you should look after your voice," and you know, practice every day, get that clarity. And I think I know exactly where they're at, because I was like them. And so by April, we're gonna launch ABMM. We've looked into the artistry side of it, where the marketing is the big thing, and the distribution. So we've got a really good distribution deal, which will get it to the four corners of the earth.
Sweet.
And we want to throw money at it. Unlike labels, if we believe in it, like we believe in Sustain, who is our Afrobeats artist, and we believe in Tia Callum, who is our female artist. So we've got one male and one female, And Sustain comes from Zambia, and he is an Afrobeats artist, but he's not. His paper his paperwork's not good. He's not established. Nothing's above board. So we're gonna put him through the right channels.
Sweet.
And the same with Tia. She's doing slight drum and bass mixing with that kind of let's go. She's doing some really good. She's doing stuff that I like what she's doing, and it's fresh and it's different. So we're going to be putting out new artists. We're going to get some older artists and also marry them up with decent producers. I mean, every day there's something, there's emails, there's something where somebody wants to reach out and work with me, but I can't work with everybody. So what I'm doing is introducing this person to this person. So like Janet Ramus is the singer from Lola's theme.
Okay.
And of course she's got, excuse me, she's gone on to work with David Guetta or whatever. But also she's still always looking to work with other people. So, you know, a DJ producer can come through and you can marry them two together. And it's not about the money. It's really, in that circumstances, about the two people, the two artists getting together, you know. And I've got there's a track called Trouble So Hard, which is a Moby track, which was Vera Hall, you know. Ooh, Lordy, I trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy. I've covered that with Simon Field, and that comes out in March, and that
I was gonna say
that's like proper festival. Do. Ooh, Lordy, I trouble so hard. Oh, baby! It sounds so, oh my God. So it's just exciting, really. I haven't got anything to lose.
So, music manager, but what's going on musically for you? I mean, obviously you've got this new track. We've just heard I Will Follow, which obviously that's coming out in the not too distant future as well, right?
That's right. That's coming out on the 14th of February.
And you've got more songs coming out. So it's like a whole plethora of new Angie Brown
that Trouble So Hard is the next one. It comes out 2 or 3 weeks after I Will Follow. Trouble So Hard with DJ Simon Field. That's out. There's all kinds of things coming out. I've done stuff with Joe Smooth. I've done stuff with different producers. Some are known, some are not known. Retweak stuff, you know. Just really looking forward to keep banging it out. Loads of tracks. Just get them out. Why am I sitting here and revisit the ones from the 80s? Why not?
Why not?
I mean, they sound amazing.
And I think maybe your 2026. I think there's a possible collaboration with that. He's an English singer, lives in Mexico. What's his name? Jaden Cornelious.
With Jaden Cornelious.
I think we're gonna collab I can see it. I'm channeling it, sister.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's so
nice, bro. That is so cute. Nice.
I'm so excited for you, and I'm so completely chuffed that you are cooking on gas right now.
I love it. I think that's what it is. What's kept me busy all this time. When I was back in Heaven 17 and we'd play a big concert and people would go out there and the boys would go, like Glenn and Martin would go, Ange, from the off, get the whole of Wembley going. Like, yeah, don't you worry, because I'm so nuts already. And we do Temptation and and you can see visibility, man. High vis jacket going, sit down, and then I'm like, get up for the forefathers of house music. And we do Temptation. Get the whole place going. You know, like, I've never been closer. Yeah.
What a tune. What a legacy to be part of, mate.
Energy. People don't care. People just say, she's a bit crazy, and it's my energy that gets me the job.
That's the most addictive thing, girl. Your confidence,
yeah, because
your persona. Yeah.
You know, you love it. It's like sex. You love it. It feels so good. You know, I give to you, you give to me, but because you're giving to me and I'm having a little giggle and I'm relaxing and I'm loving it, and you're working that bit harder because you love it, that I love it. And that's what's going on. That's what it feels like with my audience. You know, when they're loving it, I say to them, we're having sex now. And they laugh. And I say, because you're loving it, I'm loving it too. And it's a us thing. The gig isn't about, oh, watch me. And it's about me.
No,
No,
absolutely.
the gig is us. And that's why I come off the stage and I go up to where they are and I'm dripping with sweat because you're doing the powerhouse thing. And you're like doing, I don't know, knives is so high. And you're like, yeah, yeah. And gotta get up, got to feel good, got to dance. The whole thing, the energy, they go off and I go off. And that's what it's about. I don't care if the eyebrows come off, the bloody weave looks good or not. I don't care. The makeup, it drips off, it goes on my top. I don't care. I'm in the moment and I'm engaging with you and I'm singing and we're all singing together. You know, if I'm doing I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna wow, it's your time. They go, you're right, that's right. And I'm gonna get you, baby. I'm gonna get you, you start. They're doing it because it's not all about me. It's about us. It's an experience that we
it's magic.
Have.
It's magic, mate. It really is magic. And we need that more than we need anything else at this moment in a potentially really kind of hard fucking graft that is life at the moment, right? For most people, you know, governmentally, you know, with future pandemic warnings and everything.
This one, that one, yeah.
What do you need more than anything in the else is to completely escape with Angie Brown?
Oh, that's so lovely. That's so lovely. I mean, that's all I've got to give is I've never been out of work. There's been times when I thought, oh, there's not much in the diary, and I think I'll get a day job. And I'm not proud. I've cleaned the streets of London with the broom. I've worked as a waitress. I've worked in Bloomfields before they got bought out by Greggs. You know, I've done those jobs when you're working in the sandwiches and cleaning offices at 5 a.m. I did not care, and I'd go and sing in the Egg Box studio. You know, the Egg Box, yeah, with Jarasta. Yes, sire, we are top. Do a little reggae tune for me, Angie. And you're like, oh my God, what am I? And I've done my apprenticeship, but if I had to go back and do these things, I would. But the phone always rings, and there's always a promoter. There's always somebody who wants to work with me in the studio or live. And the festival thing, well, that is just gone off the scale because I'm personable. I reach out to the audience and I'll do some live singing without the music, and they think, bloody hell, she's actually doing it live.
Yeah, amazing.
And remember, it started out as a studio-tastic thing. You think the way they spliced it and edited it together.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Where do you take your breath?
Yeah.
Where do you take your breath? And you think, okay, I'm gonna find a way around. I'm gonna get you, baby. Why did you say and then I started playing it. Yo DJ, yo DJ. I started playing with it and messing with it, and people are like, what is she doing? You know, I mean, hopefully they like it. I mean, they get value for money regarding being entertained. So I always get the next gig. I always get the pride. I always get the big events. I get them.
And it's going to be more, mate. And it's going to be more. I really feel that 5 is going to even blow your socks off a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
And when we meet up to chat about our duet in 26, I will be expecting on our next interview saying, what was the highlight of your 2025? Well, obviously, it was the Jaden show.
Yeah, it's kicked off with the Jaden show.
It's been a bloody highlight of my life. I tell you, mate, it's been amazing to hear Angie Brown sing that when I'm sitting in my living room.
It's been my pleasure, Jaden, really.
And you are more than a diamond, and you are a legend. And may you reign.
Thank you.
You're only 43 now, so you've got plenty of bloody time to get this shit sorted.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I love you. I respect you, and I can't thank you enough. People at home, What are you waiting for? Before you finish your cup of tea, your Walker's crisps and your cheese sandwich, you need to be making sure that you're following Angie on every single possible social media platform that you possibly can. You're checking out her website, because all the details of her social media platforms and her website are running under this interview, and they're on the title page. And once you finish that, because now you've only got half a cup of tea left, you need to be going to her music download and streaming platforms, because you need to be starting 2025 on an Angie roll, mate, because it's only going to get bigger and better from here onwards, quite frankly.
That's amazing. Thank you for the love,
Darling,
100%. Thank people.
100%. We are in contact, because I think we need to chat in the next couple of weeks about your new single coming out. So
I'll come back. I'd love that, actually.
We are in contact, so it'll be wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank Mikey for me as well. He's super lovely. I look forward to your 2026 celebratory trip to Mexico.
Yes, I'm going to come. I'm definitely I'm coming, for real.
Angie Brown, thank you so much. You are wonderful.
Thank you, Jaden.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
How bloody lucky am I? How bloody amazing is Angie Brown, kids. As I said on the interview, please make sure you are following her on all of her social media platforms, and go and check out her music, past, present and future, on her social networks, and also on her music streaming and download platforms as well. You can find that girl everywhere, and I suggest you do. That would be one of the best things you've started doing in 2025 already. Angie, thank you so much for being an incredibly super special guest. Much love to you. Thank you, beautiful people at home, for tuning in to the Jaden Show today. I hope you've already subscribed, because for all artists, we need your follows, likes and subscriptions. So please make sure you have subscribed. Please share with all your friends and even your enemies, because they may not even be your enemies once you've shared today's show with them. How amazing. This show could bring world peace. I believe it. So please share the show with everybody. Please like, please comment, please come back next week to meet another incredible guest. Thank you so much. I hope you have a blessed week. Come and check me out on my social media platforms as well. I'm everywhere. I'm on music streaming and download platforms as well. You can check me out as well. I'm going to leave you with the iconic song by Miss Angie Brown, which is I'm Gonna Get You. I feel emotional because I've heard her sing it live in her living room. How blessed am I? This is I'm Gonna Get You. This is Angie Brown. I'll see you next week on the Jaden Show. Stay bloody beautiful. Take care of you. Bye-bye.
Yo, DJ, pump this party.
Why waste your time? You know you're gonna be mine. You know you're gonna be mine. You know you're gonna be mine. Why waste your time? You know you're gonna be mine. You know you're gonna be mine. You know you're gonna be mine. Why waste your time? You know you're gonna be mine. You know you're gonna be mine. You know you're gonna be mine. Why waste your time? You know you're gonna be mine. You know you're gonna be mine. You know you're gonna be mine. I'm gonna get
pump this party.